So Derek, come on up. Give a round of applause to Derek. So much good. Now, the question is, what does the warm-up act do to warm himself up? Well, if you're like me, you spray yourself with Axe body spray. Because if you're like me, when I do a presentation, I like to be surrounded by several dozen beautiful women. Who's with me, gentlemen? Huh? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know you see the commercials, right? The Axe body spray, you know what I mean? The guy sprays himself and suddenly he's just surrounded, like he's a loaf of bread and women are pigeons. You know what I'm talking about? Just like, they're everywhere. So, you've seen that. That's one of my favorite commercials that is just completely ridiculous. My second favorite ridiculous commercial, you've probably seen this too, they happen all the time. There's the NBA star, and he's sitting in the gym, and he's working out, and he sees the sports drink, right? He's like, oh, what? And then he opens the sports drink, sucks it back, and all of a sudden he can slam dunk. Boom! And he breaks the thing, and the glass falls, and it's all impressive, and what that implies is that the reason he can do that is because he drank a drink. You follow me? Like, they leave out the fact that he, practices several hours a day, several days a week, for many years, and is 7'2". They leave that out. That just kind of, but, yeah, you're on my page. So it's kind of a fib, as it were. And I can vouch firsthand, that commercials aren't entirely honest all the time. I can vouch I was actually in a beer commercial, a Coors Light commercial. That's a fact, and I know that you know that. So I'm well aware you know who I am. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So in case you're wondering what the commercial was, maybe you've recognized it, you won't, but I'm going to try to. The line that I had in the commercial was, just thinking out loud here, why don't you two wrestle over it? It was a big day for me. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, the sexist one. That's right. So, little known fact, a lot of people ask anybody who knows me, this is a fact, a little factoid about me standing here in front of you. This is true. I, personally, fact, has never consumed a beer in my life. That's actually true. And yet, at no point when I auditioned for the commercial, when I rehearsed for the commercial, when we shot it, when it was on TV, when my friends all called me and said, dude, I saw you on Hockey Night in Canada, woo! All that. At no point did Coors Light ever ask me, so do you actually drink beer? I don't. Haha. Anyway, so, joke's on them, right? I guess, maybe, I don't know. But the point is, don't believe everything you see on the TV box. Let's just take the prime example, the water bottle industry. I mean, those people are notoriously good and very effective at convincing you that what's in that bottle is something else. Let's think of some of the commercials that the water bottle people put out there. You see the camera zooming across a glacier. The glacier. Mankind's last bastion of purity. Nice with the lighting, very good. Thankfully, the people at Evian were there with a bottle to capture the thawing, pure, perfect glacier. You're welcome, world. So, I mean, what is really going on inside that bottle? I mean, there's a Dasani bottle right there. What's in there? I mean, what is it? Is it really from a glacier? Is it really from a stream? What's going on there? Well, as Joe mentioned earlier, that is nothing more. Brampton tap water. That's all it is. Or Guelph tap water. That's all it is. Now, I heard a couple people, a couple rows behind me were like, ew! No, it's fine. That's okay. Nothing wrong with Brampton tap water. Nothing wrong with Guelph tap water. It's just fine. You can drink it. You don't have to keep it away from your kids. It's cool. But it's not exactly what they've been telling us that it is. So, having said that, I'm going to give you four reasons why not only is this water not as good as tap water, but in fact, much worse. So, let's go through it. Reason number one, this is a big one. Price. Let's start right there. Let's just call it what it is. Price. I mean, really, should we be paying more for something that's the same? Let's just go through the math, shall we? Now, I know you're not paying the water bills at home, I assume. Your parents are doing that. I also assume you're not paying the bills of Francis Lieberman's water bills. I assume you're not doing that. But they've got to pay for the water, and every month there's your parents have got to pay a water bill, so there is a price attached to water. So if we take, and depending on what city you live in, that's how much it costs. So let's take, for example, the most expensive tap water in the country, and compare that to the cheapest, most inexpensive water bottle we can find. Here's what it is. It's still 240 times more expensive than the stuff in the tap. That's what it works out to. And if you flip the price around, it's 10,000 times more expensive. Just to give you some perspective on that, let's say I have an O. Henry bar. You are hungry. You're like, dude, O. Henry, hook me up. I'm like, I got it. Normally a chocolate bar is $1. For you, today, $10,000. Yeah. That's just to give you some perspective. And even if we go the other way, $240, still not a bargain. So, free tip from me to you, Francis Lieberman, me to you, free tip. Here it is, write this down. If anybody ever offers you a chocolate bar for $10,000, don't buy it. You're welcome. Yeah, all right. Number 2, leaching. Oh, isn't this nice? It's red. Isn't that great? Leaching. For those of you who don't know what leaching is a process that happens with anything plastic. And what happens is, because the plastic itself has all these chemicals swirling around inside the bottle, every once in a while, they sneak out and they start swirling around in the actual water itself. And then when you drink the water, the chemicals are, hear me out, swirling inside of you. You hear me? So basically this happens, and the longer it sits on the shelf, the more leaching that happens. So that's number 2, leaching. That's also bad. Number 3, and this is a big one, and that's why I wrote it down. Oh yes, the bottle itself. Let's talk about the bottle itself. This doesn't have anything to do with the water. The actual bottle. I mean, that thing right there, that's what the water comes in. I mean, we as a town, as a city, as a province, as a country, as a continent, as a planet, are consuming way too much plastic. Just go through your typical day and point out all the stuff that's plastic around you. It's all over the place. It really is. And we're consuming way too much. And even those of you in this room, and I know that there's some of you out there, even those people who are militant about recycling, and you even give your friends grief when they don't recycle, there's the slight chance that that stuff won't even get recycled because we're making too much, and the recycling plants can't keep up with the amount that we're throwing away, and it goes into a landfill. It might not even get recycled. That's how much we're making. So we have to cut down big time all of the plastic we're making. And if you make a list of excessive plastic that we really don't need to make, the first people on that list is the entire water bottle industry. You gotta go, boys. You're off the bus. Good night, nurse. Stop making plastic. It's coming in through our taps. Goodbye. You see what I'm saying? So that's number 3, the bottle itself. Number 4, and this is a big one, the energy it takes for these bottles to get to you. Now, how do you think these bottles got to the pop machine, got to the fridge, got to the store, got to your house? How did they get there? Well, they had to be put in bottles first. And I don't know if you know this, but we get plastic from oil. And the oil is being shipped in from all different corners of the earth. Anywhere from the Middle East, to Alaska, to Alberta, to Venezuela. We don't know, but they put them in a big tanker, and it's trucking along the ocean, burning thousands and thousands of gallons of fuel just to get here. They take that oil, they bring it to a big factory. Now, I'm not going to bore you with what it takes for oil to be transferred into plastic, partially because I don't know. But I will tell you this. The factories that do that exact thing are billowing all kinds of smoke and pollution into the air that we have to inhale because we have to, breathe to live. So that's happening. And then these companies, they make all these little pellets and these little balls that get shipped off on a truck, which is also burning fuel, to another factory, which melts down the plastic and makes all these little plastic things. And those plastic things, like bottles, for example, get shipped off to a different factory where they actually fill the bottles with water. And then the water itself gets about 12, and they put them on this little cardboard plank, and the cardboard came from a different factory altogether, which is also shipped in on a different truck altogether, which came in, and then a different kind of plastic went on top of the thing and was covered. Oh, I'm not done yet! And then it was put into a different kind of plastic, which you can't recycle, and there's a whole bunch of forklift comes along, picks it up, which is also running on fuel, takes the thing, puts it on a different truck, also running on fuel, and that truck drives away, burning out smoke along the way, goes into another big thing, a big warehouse which has fluorescent lights and heating systems, and that's the thing there, and then a whole other truck comes, picks up the water, drives to all the different stores, puts it in a fridge, or plugs into the wall, which is also getting energy and lights, and you come along, take the bottle, glug glug, toss, gone. All of that could have been avoided with that. Now, what does that work out to? All that energy. The oil tanker, the factories, the shipping, the trucks, the forklift, the packaging. What does that work out to? Not this. No. It works out to that right there. What is this? That much oil, my friends. Every time you drink one of these, you are not just consuming this water, you're burning off that much fuel every time you drink one of these. These are, I almost drank this. Don't worry, it's not oil, it's just cola. He almost died. No, it's just cola, don't worry. He almost drank oil and died in front of our whole school. That was amazing. That'll be in the paper. All right. So, let's just call it what it is. The big guns.
Nestle, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Danone. These are the big guys that own almost the entire water bottle industry. They are a multi-billion-dollar company, and it may seem very scary, and it may seem very intimidating. How do we take them on? How do we shut them down? How do we stop them from being so irresponsible? We can't. They're too big. Yes, we can. Now, I've shared with you four reasons today why tap water is superior to bottled water. And now I'm going to share 5 words with you. If you remember anything about what I said today, allow it to be this. 5 words to shut them down. Here they come. Stand by. Oh man. Just don't buy it. Ever. Oh, I love this audience. Thank you for your time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.